Okay, so I'm going to make my background and I'm going to make a new layer underneath my art layer. Call it background. Whoops. Call it background. And then I'm going to click on my rectangle tool and then click on the artboard and do 18 by 24 so I can get a document that's exactly the size of my artboard. And I'll go ahead and give it this pretty light color right here. I want to go ahead and change the color of my background because I want to be able to see the point better. So I'm going to give it like a dark purple so I can just see it on top of this pink color. So here you can see this purple dot. So what I really want to do is go in, first you want to go to View, Guides, and make sure your guides aren't locked, so unlock them. And then you want to click on Snap to Point because I need my guides to snap to this point because that's technically the center of my document. So I will click on my guide and I'm moving it and it is snapping directly to the points. Okay, so I'm going to move this one and it did it, and then I'm going to move this one right, whoops. I need to move it up a little bit. One more time. Okay, so there it snapped directly to the point, and that's pretty center for me. Another thing that you want to make sure is that you're working in multiply mode, because if I were to work right now, I wouldn't be able to see my sketch. So with my background layer selected, you want to click on this click to target, which is the circle on the layers panel, and then you want to change your transparency to multiply and you'll be able to see your sketch. Okay, so I always go ahead and lock that layer, and then guides, you want to make sure when you go up to View, Guides, Lock Guides is on so they're not moving around, and you could also just lock the layer as well. Okay, so I'm going to make a new layer that's called temporary arts, so I can show you kind of how I get started. I want to show you how to use the reflect tool on the eyes here. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool, and I'm going to give it a dark color, and then I'm going to go in the middle here, and I'm going to hold Option and Shift and then click and drag, and then I'm going to get a nice symmetrical circle. Now I need to make sure this is in multiply, so again click to target, and everything I do on this layer will now be in multiply and I'll be able to see everything. Okay, I want to go ahead and make my eye somewhat to the shape of the eye that I drew, so I'm just adjusting everything, and that looks pretty good. Now I want to show you how to reflect. So you're going to be doing this a lot in this project, and you're going to be copying and pasting shapes on top of each other. So Command C, Command F. So I literally pasted a shape, but it's on top of the previous shape, but it's still selected. My new shape is selected, not my original one. So then in my toolbar underneath the rotate tool is the reflect tool. So I click on the reflect tool. I go to the very center of my document, and it says center right now, and I click on it. I grab my eye and then I rotate it, and it will line up perfect. So then when I turn my sketch layer off, you can see how both of these are pretty accurate. This one might, whoops. This one might move down just a little bit right here. Okay, so there you have two pretty symmetrical shapes. So the way I go about this project is I'm really just looking at the way shapes are made.